What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XYO. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. So I was looking at the chart here, and I'm so impressed, man. I didn't realize, or maybe I've looked this up before and I just forgot, but man, in 825, 26x almost. That's crazy. That's what you saw last cycle. Okay, from low to high. Most people probably didn't get that. Right, most people might have bought between this high, sold between like this low here. Maybe most people got a 30 something X, but still, dude, that's and I shouldn't say most people, but that would be easy enough to achieve. If a 30x is easy to achieve, you don't have to sell the low or buy the low and sell the high for that. That's phenomenal. But overall, 825x, you guys, that's just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. It makes you wonder what we have in store for this cycle. XYO, looking at the current market cap, you're at about a $206 million market cap now. Now, I know I'm talking to the right crowd. I know I've got you primed whenever I say that we can absolutely see a 100x with this thing, right? More than a 100x. 206 million, you know, for a coin that's been around since 2018, something like that could definitely see a $100 billion market cap by the end of this cycle. So 200 million times 100, that would be 20 billion. A 100x is 20 billion. A $100 billion market cap is a 500x. I'm pretty sure, right? So you would take that 100 times 5. Yeah, so 500x. And I know a 500x, you hear that and you think, yeah, there's cryptos that do that, but how do you know you found the right one? Well, I don't know. Maybe the one that did an 825x last cycle might be the one that should be in the discussions this cycle to do something comparable, if not pretty damn spectacular. I mean, let's just see. What would a 500x do from here? 500x from here, that would put you all the way up at about this price, right? Like basically right there, but a little bit lower. Let's try and get it very accurate. Come on now. Come on, basically right there. Whatever, that's fine. I want to zoom it in. I do want to get it lower because that's like a 510x. We want a 500x. That's closer to a 500x. So 500x from here would be about $7.70. Okay. Overall, from the low of this cycle to get up to there, that puts you at, something that's bigger than last cycle. That's an over 1000x by the end of this cycle. So I don't know if you see that, right? That's a $100 billion market cap. I think it's possible, but in this context, unlikely, right? Unlikely. So running it back down to see something that's closer to a 100x, something like this, overall, we bring that down. That's at about a 554x overall. That sounds about right, because I would anticipate, and I can be wrong in this, but I would anticipate that from a low to a high overall, this cycle is probably smaller than the last cycle. So 100x possible, or at least comparable. If it was to be bigger, not too much bigger, but something, you know, a 100x is possible, something over a 100x is possible, right? You start getting over this, I'd say you start getting over about 150x. That's when things start to get a little bit iffy. And of course, you could see greater growth than that, but you never know. But at that point, you'd be seeing more growth than you saw last cycle. Maybe you've got more going for you this cycle. It's completely possible you could have a cycle grow larger than a prior cycle. I mean, here we can look at Dogecoin, for example, on crypto, you know, total history. And its biggest cycle was its last cycle, right? Its first cycle wasn't anything. I mean, this first cycle was pretty damn crazy, right? From a low point here to a high point there, that's a 900. Is that a 9? No, that's, am I doing my math right? Is that a 100x? Would that be a 100x? That would be about 100x there. That's 100x there, yeah. Or I guess overall the whole cycle from the low to the high, there you go. That's about a 200 and something x, okay? From a low to a high here, that was a lot higher. So it literally doubled the growth there. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just oftentimes you get diminishing returns, not accelerating returns, right? But it is possible. So something again around, I think 150, let's just say 150x, just a little bit below those lines, something that's around like 225 at the maximum to 100x, I think is a good possible outcome there. Something around $1.50. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's keep those lines up, delete the purple areas, and see if we can make sense out of some of those areas using fibs. From the last cycle high in November 2021 to the bear cycle low here, right there in October 2023, the 1886 to the 200 level is right there, very well encapsulated by this area that we made sense out of just using logic with the market cap and using logic with what we've seen last cycle and comparing it to what we could see this cycle. Just a rough estimate. It wasn't anything too backed in like science or anything, but it was just a rough educated guess, I should say. $1.70 to 250 is the more refined target that I would give. We have $1.60 here to 225, so let's delete the white lines now. Or maybe adjust them. Let's adjust them, not delete them, because we'll delete the fibs so that there's less noise on the charts. I'm going to throw another white line on here, okay? Right here. As a minimum target, okay, this is our expected area that we go to, and then maybe I'll put this all the way up here as a maximum target. If XYO decides to pull a Dogecoin move, because again, right, we said you could see a 500x, what would that be? That would be, yeah, you could, to get to $100 billion, you could. So I think it's possible to see this. I just don't think it's likely to see that, but still, something worth mentioning nonetheless. So something between, 68 cents to $6.40, something in that range, with a likely area identified as about $1.70 to $2.45, somewhere in that area. I say 245, even though it says 242 here, because this line was a little bit lower. It's like just a little bit under. It's actually 250. 250 would be the appropriate level, not 245. So let's try to get that. I don't know, right there, 253, whatever, 250. So that's what we'll remember it as. Okay. I want to see if you like your 1886. If there's any way we can verify that. Let's see, just from a low to a high here, low to high. 1886. Yeah, not really, not really there. What about maybe here? Maybe here. High to low. You went just up to your 1618, okay. Not really a whole lot of historical stuff to go off of here. Maybe the high to low there. No, yeah, just falling short of the 1618. What about this one? Last attempt, and then we'll just move on, okay. Yeah, you went above your 1886 here. So no real respect that I can see, at least on a long-term perspective, but there's not a lot to go off of. So I'm just, I'm grasping at straws here. There's not much to look at. To identify how likely of a range this is, if it's something that you like. What I did see was you liked your 1618, so I mean maybe you only go to 68 cents, but from 1.5 cents, that's not too bad of a minimum, man. I do think that you go up to this area. We're going to leave that there. I want to get into some shorter term technical analysis. Let's get into that now. Okay, 5 days, 23 hours left. You're down 20% on this month. If you close this month red, I think that would actually be good, because then you go from being overbought in your RSI to not being overbought, and that's a good thing, right? You can take a little breath. If you do come up by the end of the month, and I suspect you do, this will come up. Maybe you bounce off the overbought zone just like you did here, but that wasn't so bad, right? That bounce off the overbought zone gave you a lot of growth, so even that's not bad, nothing to be concerned with, but certainly I don't think it'd be a bad thing if this month closed red. It's okay if it does. That's all I'm trying to say. Weekly RSI, if we look at it here, we are down. Actually, right here, we've got some higher lows going on. And if we look at the RSI as a whole, it looks very, very bullishly postured, right? Higher lows going down here, higher highs. You look very structured to the upside. Bouncing off the 50, you kind of did the same thing here last cycle, though that might have been after the end of the cycle, wasn't it? No, that was the end of the cycle. Okay, cool. So you bounced off the 50, had your last kind of cycle finale here. When you were breaking out, you were at your all-time highs and breaking out there. I think comparing this to what we're doing now, maybe from an overall move perspective would be accurate, but from a cycle perspective, no. I don't think this next move up is going to be the end of the cycle for XYO. I definitely think that you have more to go after this, right? But something comparable, maybe. I mean, you're at the same price area. Let's just see. What would that do? I mean, from a low here to a high, low to high, you saw a 711% move. If we're at a low here, what would that do for you? 711%. That basically takes you up to about 10 cents. Hey, that's a nice psychological area of resistance, 10 cents. If we take this from a high to a low here, come on, high to low right there. 9.6 cents is your 1618, and you like that, and that is just above your all-time high area. I don't know, maybe not 10 cents exactly, but something just below there. I could see that happening, right? From here, whenever you do move up, and I think on a weekly perspective, you certainly look like you want to. You look very damn bullish. You're finding support at previous areas of resistance here, right? We can actually see that you are literally here finding support now at prior areas of resistance here, support there, right? Going back in time, the area of nothingness, the great abyss, but something significant. You look like you're in a bull flag right now. I would anticipate that you move up from here, and by the end of March, you probably see targets that are anywhere from 6.2 cents to maybe as high as 21 cents. I don't know. That seems a bit cray-cray. Seems a bit crazy to me. Let's see. High to low. What do we got here? High to low there. Maybe I should take this low. We should take this low here, yeah. Come on, almost there. There we go. Low there. I don't know, man. Right there, perfect. Yeah, 21 cents might be the maximum target. As crazy as that sounds, but maybe not to you guys. Maybe it doesn't sound crazy to you, but 21x. Let's just see too in perspective from this low to this high. You do that from this low to this, or not even from the absolute low over here, but the low of where this move started. Right. It's the same thing here. If the move was to start here, not the low of the consolidation phase, but the low of the move. If the move started here, that would take you up to about 13 cents, not 21 cents, but still another target area that makes sense, just based off of what we've seen so far. It might make more sense that this next move actually is bigger than the last move. So if the last move, right, from a low down here to a high there, if your last move overall was this size, it might make sense that the next move could be bigger. I think that the next move could be bigger because, again, if you break out to new all-time highs, that might be enough reason to see that, right? New cycle highs, new all-time highs, all that stuff could be enough reason to get you going alongside with the rest of crypto moving up. Maybe you do see 21.6 cents, man. XYO by the end of this by the end of this next month, if not by the end of April, middle April, something like that. I mean, that would be from here. That'd be like a 13x. I could see it, man. I could 13, 14x. It could happen. 1618 being at about a 6x there. I like that, right? The 1272, that's a 300% growth. That's about average for the rest of crypto. It's an acceptable minimal target. I'm not expecting it personally. I think that you see more than that, but it's crazy, man. From this current price at 1.5 cents, you're looking at 6.2 cents, and you're like, that doesn't look like enough. That's crazy because that's 300%, man. That's phenomenal. I have a feeling, I really do have a feeling that you're going to see something greater than a 6x, maybe as great, but limited to a 14x by the end of this next move, by the end of March, right? And then, of course, end of cycle, all these numbers up here are still at play. I don't think that you stop at 68 cents, though. That is the given minimum there for whatever reason. It is there. The given, it's not for whatever reason. It's the 1618 from the last cycle high to the lows, right? That's what it is. It's the 1618 there. And then here is the 1886 to the 200 level, and then that's your 2272 up there overall, right? So I think something between 68 cents to $6.36 is possible. Again, that's about $100 billion market cap there. With the most likely scenario by the end of the cycle being at about $1.70 to $2.50, something in that area. Between now and the end of April, between now and really probably the end of March, if not the middle of April, you'll see prices that are anywhere from about, I think, 10 cents to 21.6 cents. You're at 1.5 cents now. XYO has a bright future ahead of it. I like the weekly RSI. I think it looks really good. The daily RSI to me kind of looks like it wants to go lower. Let's just see real quick in the short term. Do you go lower? 4 hour also kind of looks like it wants to go lower just a little bit. Yeah, you're finding resistance here at prior areas of support. I wouldn't be surprised if you went a little bit lower. Let's keep looking here. Hold on, low to high here. Yeah, you probably go down to about 1.39 cents. Once you find support there, you will begin to move up. So I think you do that either by the end of today or by the end of tomorrow, but sometime soon. If I'm wrong, you're just going to move up, invalidate me, and close a price, a 4-hour candle above about 1.7 cents. If you can close above 1.7 cents on 2 4-hour candles, I'll consider myself invalidated. You'll be above these highs. You'll be above this low here, looking like you're breaking out of this range to the upside instead of to the downside. So 1.7 cents, closing above there on a 4-hour basis, that'll convince me that I'm wrong. I got nothing, and what I say when I'm wrong is inevitably we are going to go up, but immediately I think we're going to go down to about 1.4 cents, just below there, find support, and then we're going to go to all those higher targets that I was talking about. Okay, and validate that. Don't go lower, just get above 1.7 cents on a closing basis, not a wicking basis. Closing price matters. Okay, take it easy, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you all for being here. Bye bye.